Happy Sunday, my loves. Welcome to another GODCAST. I feel like it's been a month since I have created one. It's been a very busy and blessed few months here in the temple. I just want to give you a little bit of an energy update as we are in portal season. What I mean by that is understanding that the next 6 months is a really amazing opportunity for your evolving self to grow. With that said, we must also be very clear about the limited belief systems, the deep psychological programs, and of course, what we choose to constantly become or believe in through a spiritual concept. Because the truth is, there is a higher mirroring here as ascended masters and the Christ energy has come to planet Earth almost 20 years ago. So you have to be clear on really how far are you willing to rise and how much are you willing to still carry, even if that energy is old. You see, this is the year of Saturn. So wherever Saturn is in your chart, you have to understand Saturn will awaken you to deep, profound truths that can leave you alone, outside, cuddled in your own tears because the truth is so profound, meaning you thought you knew your life. You thought everything that you were living was true, and maybe perhaps it was the love that you thought you knew what love was. And a belief system of the government, the sciences, or religions that you've been so accustomed to believing. And this is year 8. This is the year of Saturn awakening you. And this is the time for you to really choose a higher path. Some of us obviously have awoken a long time ago, and we are actually the ascended masters walking on planet Earth. So you have to be very clear of what you are believing in, what you are consuming. Let me ask you, if you are someone who has been on this journey for a few years, maybe even longer, like myself, are you still holding on to the same belief system as you did last year? You see, what you believe to be true, the universe will bow to you and say, and it shall be. So we have to be really open as we are entering 8-8, as I like to call this portal, fearless freedom. Now, when I talk about fearless freedom, we have to first understand the majority of planet Earth are cowards. They bow down to a broken system. People still like to play and dabble into the circus. It is something that is going to happen because the split of timelines are here. There are 2 waves right now on planet Earth, and this is not about judgment. This is about truth. And anybody who takes truth as judgment, well, you know on a conscious level where you are. You see, one must rise out of their emotional body and become etheric in their own template to understand the truth of ascension and what was the purpose of your awakening. And also really feel deeply into what timeline you are ready to actually break free from. You know, a lot of people have to look deeper into their own psyche and ask themselves, where am I still chained? Is it on a mental capacity? Is it through my own body? Is it through emotions? Is it through inner child? Is it through lineage? Is it through society? Is it based out of old religion programs? Is it based off money? Is it based off of the need to be ... Everybody has to peel another layer as we enter 8-8. However, those who are more of the warriors, those are who are in divine authority, those who have been activated and initiated through the goddess herself, it's only because you've invested and you now know what it is to be a divine leader, a divine way shower, a divine light, a divine teacher, a divine presence, and whatever word you feel that is you, use it. Who the fuck am I to tell you who you are? All I know is that when I channel and I'm preparing for something, I have to come on and share the energy. Because if I don't, I will get sick. This is a part of my Kundalini activation. So you have to ask yourself as we enter this portal, right? Where are you ready to become free? Let me give you a couple of energies that are here. Obviously, as we are seeing the two different waves and understanding the timeline shift, some of you have to be really real with what you are still fearful of. A lot of people who call themselves A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right, are still very afraid of death. And you know that because there is moments of, well, let's just call it the ego self rising, or back to escaping, hiding, not fully coming out with divine gifts or divine message or divine alchemy as a public figure. Anybody who's been called to be an ascended master of this earthly realm must be public no matter what you believe to be true. Why? Confirmation? Because you cannot lead when you're home alone, hiding under the cover, my loves. Leadership is not how many followers you have. Leadership is you making the choice, the brave, courageous action to do it first. And trust me, you are divine and you have a unique gift that only Creator has gifted you. Why haven't you showed up to that gift? What's stopping you? Those are the questions you must ask yourself so you can break free and have freedom within your own template. You see? So let's keep it real. Truth really does hurt. Truth really does trigger. But I had someone ask me a very good question, and I want to read it because I think this is a perfect example of you going into a belief system that New Age spirituality has taught over and over again. And I would like to call this the mirroring. So I posted, I believe, 2 days ago about the feminine energy, understanding the goddess, and of course, spirituality and how they use this as a hypocritical falsehood of enlightenment. I wrote, not everyone is your mirror if they are lower than you. Someone can only be your true mirror if you are both aligned in consciousness. Now, that may trigger a couple of thoughts or beliefs within you. Now, think about it. Planet Earth, we are all individual, we're all unique. No one is one. This is a planet of duality. So those of you who say we are all one, we are all in unity, that is not on planet Earth. That is a higher consciousness. That is what we're all leveling up to. You have to understand the truth of the fact is we are all individual. We all have our uniqueness. We all have our own delicious unveiling to do. And through those moments of deep, profound work, you understand that you're graduating and leveling up, right? So what I mean by that is that if you've mastered your emotional body, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, you guys, this is typical Kundalini energy. At 2024, you guys should be aware of what I'm speaking of. If you don't, then you're obviously not on the level of frequency of a conscious being. You might just be awakening, and that's okay. But what I'm speaking of is the 7 bodies, understanding that the whole purpose of an awakening path is to get the fuck out of the emotional body and rise into the etheric template. Please Google the 7 bodies. This is why I really truly teach the awakening path and the ascension path. I do not vibrate on the healing path or the awakening path anymore because I've ascended to a higher frequency. Yes, that is very possible because the heart chakra is only the beginning of the chakra systems. We are here to become Christ consciousness, which is a vibration of the 7th chakra to the 12th chakra. So it's a very different template. Very different DNA coding, very different vibration and energy and frequency. So you have to be real with where you're at. If you are in a lower frequency, then most likely you don't even really fully comprehend the energy that is coming out of my mouth. Again, that is okay. I get kind of sick of constantly having to mother or to stroke someone's lower self for them to feel like I'm not judging. I'm just speaking my truth. This is my truth. This is someone who is speaking in divine authority, no emotional connection, speaking through the throat chakra, sitting profoundly and deeply in my high priestess chair or throne, and channeling through an anchored foundation of divinity. Now, when we talk about this energy, you have to also be real, right? With the deeper understanding of what you are carrying with you. So, no, if you have risen out of the emotional body, then not everyone is your mirror. Why would someone who is an ascended master say or devalue their own ascension or their own hard work or their own value to saying someone has triggered me who's in the circus? It doesn't make sense. You don't get triggered anymore. You've mastered that trigger. So you have to be very clear of understanding that if you are constantly getting triggered, it's because you are choosing not to fully rise and to master your energy. This is 2024. This is the time to really become a master. You have to understand the only way out of the reincarnation cycle is to fully ascend and to embody these energies as you're still breathing on this planet. And then when we transcend, because death is only for those who are actually coming back to planet Earth, when you transcend, meaning you have risen out of this physical flesh and you move on to the higher dimensional sacred contract your soul is supposed to be, you've already accomplished all that has been and all that has ever been through this embodiment. So I had a beautiful soul say, regarding not everyone is our mirror, aren't those operating on the lower frequency potentially triggering us to show us where we still need work? So my response was, you're in a higher frequency. You have mastered your shadows. There shouldn't be any triggers. She replied once more, going, And when I say this, please listen to her belief system and please listen to the spiritual concepts of new age spiritual junk, because I don't fuck with spirituality. It's not for me. I am in consciousness, the I am presence. Listen to her limited belief systems and where these belief systems can keep her stuck in cycles and even in her, let's say, blocking her own blessings, right? That's a term a lot of people like to use. So her response was, if we have mastered all of our shadows and triggers, then surely we become Buddha. I think life will keep prescribing tests and they will get harder. I don't think the shadow work stops until we get to the point of true enlightenment, being like Buddha, and this incarnation is our last rodeo. So right there, she put out into the universe, I think life will keep prescribing tests and they will get harder. Prescribing tests. Okay, so the prescription is from who? You're talking about the medical system that wants to drug you into believing something that's not real? Do you see that? Do you see that right there? Why does life have to get harder? Who ingrained that into you? That's not heavenly codes. That's why Buddha, who was an ascended master on planet Earth, was living here. He, understand, like Yeshua, the Christ, was living on planet Earth, walking. Now, those are just men. Where are the goddesses? Where are the priestesses that have been walking this earth with that enlightenment? Well, as a dark goddess, we can go on the list forever and ever and ever. But see the limited programs that she instilled in her own temple? So you have to understand, do you believe that to be true? You can say yes or you can say no. That is your belief system. That's your responsibility to keep it in that frequency or shift it into a higher dimension. But let me tell you this. Those type of belief systems are completely false, because you have to understand that our Creator does not want life to become harder. Creator wants our life to become more peaceful. Creator wants us to be more in harmony. Creator would like us to be more in bliss state. And the more and more you understand that, the more and more value you will put onto your soul. This specific person has never entered the temple. She definitely is a beautiful soul who is a part of my Instagram tribe. However, I've never had her in temple. So you have to understand, I don't know who she is as a soul. I can't tap in because I only tap into those who are called to work with me. So you have to understand, right? Who is this person watching? What teachings is she watching? You can have multi-millions of viewership and you are considered, let's say, the new celebrity spiritual master. But is that spiritual master on the highest vibration as an ancient soul, or is there sacred soul contracts to awaken the masses, which is now the awakening process? So they're actually just, let's say, halfway from the pyramid, as gods and goddesses are above the pyramid. Energetically, the whole purpose is to rise. We aren't going back, therefore we don't go down. So you have to understand, when we call ourselves alchemists or magicians or high priestess, it's not because we don't feel pain. It's not because we don't feel uncomfortable or being triggered. It's because of what we do with it as a gifting, the way we perceive it as a blessing, and how we transform it into our legacy. So with that said, I am super excited to give you guys another portal before I go on my traveling. And this specific portal is for 8-8, baby, the portal of awakening divine perception. I have brought in the codes this morning of Isis and Osiris, the Orion and Sirius divine union, but being led by their son, Horus. Third eye awakening. You think that 7-7 was the priestess of Sirius. You don't think the masculine Orion will come in? And with this portal, we are going to discuss even deeper through your own family lineage of the belief system of the human versus the soul. This is a very big, huge time to truly liberate yourself, to become fearless and free. Remember that you have all of the energies and all of the tools and all of the ascended masters with you now, walking this earth. You see them in the forms that you see them in. But my loves, this is a beautiful time to really cultivate not only your soul's inheritance, but the actual physical material inheritance that has been a reflection of your soul's contract. Please remember that evolving requires old teachings, old beliefs, old spiritual concepts that have been repeated and repeated and repeated to transcend into a higher vibration. Love is who you are. You are whole. You are complete. And you are the beloved that you seek so deeply on this planet. Now, act accordingly and become someone who is in service to others. Because when you are in service to others, that is truly when your awakening journey ends and your ascension journey begins. I pray that this helped. I send you so much love and blessings as goddess, priestess, and the 10,000 names. I love you all.